What is going on, guys? I'm Consumer Tech Review, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the UtechSmart Venus Gaming Mouse. I'm going to go over the pros and the cons, and then I'm going to give you some of my own real-life experience that I've had with this mouse over the past month and a half. And if at any point during the video you guys want to pick up the Venus Gaming Mouse for yourselves, all Amazon links below for the US, UK, and Canada. I got you guys. But let's jump into the video. Now, that first pro is the build quality. Now, one of you guys recommended me to get this mouse, and I was also looking at it, but I wasn't quite sure because it's not a name brand. UtechSmart is, kind of one of those Chinese companies that could either go really wrong or it could go really right. Or you could also just not get quality, but the build quality is quite good. Now, when I got this thing, the packaging was absolutely awful. The worst Photoshop I've ever seen. It's so bad. But then you get the mouse and it's actually really good. So most of the mouse is actually almost like this very grippy, sandpapery material, plastic, rubber. It's really nice feeling actually, and it feels premium and solid, but it's actually quite nice. It's grippy, it grips to you. The one complaint is that they have this little slit of like glossy plastic on the top, and because of where it is, it always makes me feel like something's on my hand, like I put syrup on my hand so it's sticky, but that goes away pretty quickly. Now, as well as that, there is RGB all over this mouse. So you have all the buttons on the side, which are 12 programmable buttons. We'll get into that later in the video, but all of those are backlit, which is really nice. Obviously, the scroll wheel is backlit. You have the UtechSmart logo on the back, and then on the front, you actually have some RGBs there as well. But overall, it feels really nice and sturdy and strong. This is a bigger size mouse, so if you guys like that, you're gonna like this. Now, the next pro is it has 16,000 DPI, and most of you guys are gonna be like, why would you ever use 16,000 DPI? It's just marketing, it's ridiculous. It's actually not true. You can switch this on the fly, which is why this one is good. With those really high DPI mice that aren't able to switch on the go, it's kind of pointless. But let's say you're aiming at a sniper scope, the higher the DPI, the more precise it's going to be. So if you have low sensitivity, high DPI, you're gonna be good for sniping. You also have 12,000 FPS and a 1,000 hertz polling rate and 30 Gs of acceleration. Now, all of that is customizable in the software that comes with it. The software isn't pretty, but it's very usable and it's easy to use. Now, for the DPI and such, you can set profiles. So you can have 5 different profiles of different, or 4 different profiles of different DPIs that you can actually set to the mouse on top, which actually has 4 little red glowing squares that you can switch really quick on the go, which is great for gaming. All right, now the next pro is the RGB. I mentioned this previously, but there's a little bit more to it. So first of all, there is a lot of RGB on this mouse, and it's very unique RGB. A lot of RGB on mice is not like this. It has like kind of that line, which is cool, but this is different. Now, because it has all those different sides and areas and the buttons and the back and the front, you would think that it has different zones. However, no, it does not have different zones, but it can be fully customized to any color that you want. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty sick. And the thing that really makes this is a lot of RGB on mice is kind of like, you can't see a lot of it because some of it's like on the front, or most of the RGB that's on the front of a mouse, you're never going to see. However, with this mouse, the RGB on the front is almost like it's through a headlight and it's projecting in front of the mouse, which looks really, really good. So instead of just having a kind of ring or a line in front of your mouse, you're actually seeing a glow of whatever color you have on your actual mouse pad, which it was quite a good move, and I don't know why more companies aren't doing things like this. Moving on, you got 12 programmable buttons on the side of it. Yes, 12, it's a lot. However, for some people that play games, that might be helpful to you. I play a lot of first-person shooters. Now, this is still very helpful for me because I'm a huge person with customizing buttons. I use a lot of my mouse buttons. Some people I know use none of them, but if you guys use a lot of mouse buttons, you're gonna like this. I usually use just the first 6, and I can actually remember just through physical feel of where they are, and it doesn't take that long. However, I don't use the other 6, the ones that are closer to my hand. I don't use those at all. Now, the next pro is you can actually adjust the weight and balance of this mouse in the rear of the mouse on the bottom. You can actually pull out these little weights. There's 8 of them, and you can change them and switch where they are. It's really cool, and you can adjust the weights. I typically have 2 in there of the 8, so I take out 6, but it's nice to be able to customize it and change it how you want. Now, the last pro before the real life experience is it's got a 6-foot braided cable. Nothing special, it's just a 6-foot braided cable. Now, overall, when I got this mouse, I wasn't expecting much, and it actually outdone what I thought it was going to do. Now, it's not a perfect mouse by any means. However, for the money, it's quite good, and the real life experience is the crazy part. So first of all, this is not my favorite mouse to just click around in Windows and editing and stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with it, it's just not my favorite because I've used a lot of mice. However, in game, this is one of my favorites, and I cannot explain why, but my KD ratio with this mouse is 3 times what it is with other mice. I don't know the reason for that, but it's just so precise. It's almost like I have this telepathic, just my sights move exactly where I want them to. I literally can't explain it because I use the Storm 808 mouse, and that mouse is great and I love it, and I use that way more than I use this. But in game, this one just makes me kill people better. I don't know why. All right, but let's move into cons. There's just a few of them. Now, the cable is not one of those ultralight cables, and that's always gonna be a con if a mouse doesn't have that, because those are just so nice. You get spoiled with them. It's almost like having it be a wireless mouse. So that's just a small con. It doesn't really affect it that much. You just gotta make sure that it's not pulling or has slack on it. The next one, as I mentioned, the gloss black on top feels kind of weird in the beginning, but you get used to it very quickly. It is very nitpicky. I just don't know why they put that there. And I mentioned the other one, I think 12 buttons on the side is a little bit too much. I would just gone with 6, but again, it's not like you're paying more to have 6 extra buttons to have 12, so not a big deal. Now you gotta remember, this mouse is super budget. You're getting a ton for the money, way more than you could get with a name brand. Although you will have some refinement with the name brand, but you might not have, you know, adjustable weights and the crazy RGB and all the 12 programmable buttons. It's a lot. So is it worth it? Absolutely. If what I mentioned in the video is something that you guys want, this is a fantastic pick and it's great for gaming. Remember, if you do want to go pick the Venus up, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, and Canada. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And if you did enjoy this review, and it helped you out, help me out and throw a like below. And if you enjoy gaming tech reviews and tech reviews in general, I do a ton of those, so please consider subscribing. We're so close to 20,000 subs. Very crazy, very happy. If you guys do want to go check out my last video, it'll be somewhere here. It was about a monitor, best gaming monitor for the Xbox Series X and PS5. This was Consumer Tech Review, and I'll see you guys later.